Welcome to the Jackson Cloud. Today we're going to play a game called Pitchstorm. And here's how it works. I give everybody some cards. We've actually played this on the cloud before. You can watch our first session, but we're going to try it again. Do you want to know your plot or your character?
I mean, let's go with plot since that's what I have in my hand.
Plot or character?
I'm going to go with plot at this point too.
Then I will go with character. Whatever we didn't choose, we will see immediately and have to mix it in. So go ahead and choose whatever one you want to do. We're gonna give me 1 minute to tell a story, and all I know at the moment is that my character is the world's meanest 10-year-old bully. I've met this kid, first off. And I have 1 minute to tell the story. The world's meanest 10-year-old bully tries to take down the flute player in the band. So there's this flute player, and she is just the worst. At least to this 10-year-old bully kid who can't stand flute players in the first place. To be honest, he's got a little bit of a crush on her, and so like that's part of the reason he wants to like bully her around and makes him feel like he's flirting. He doesn't understand how life works yet. But like she's always off pitch, and he, even though he's a bully, he's like first chair trombone, and he's always nailing these notes, and so he's super annoyed by it. And so he comes up with this idea.
What if this whole story took place at a paper supply company?
So I'm gonna add 30 seconds to my time when you bring in a note, so that I can add it in. So I'm going for 1.5 minutes. We're at 37 seconds. Continuing, and so like he's got this whole idea as to how to like make her better at flute. And what he does is essentially he learns flute, and he sits right behind her. And whenever he goes to his dad's paper supply company, he's always playing this flute. And so what he does is essentially he learns how to play flute and trombone at the same time. You know the part that comes out? Yeah? Well, he puts the flute notes on it. So, and he sits behind her and he makes the worst noises ever until the teacher's like, "Girl, you're the worst and you need to stop." He's like, "Yes, bully succeeded."
You know what? I feel confident I can beat that. I'm gonna go.
I would not watch that movie.
All right, it is now Olivia's turn. You have 1 minute unless I add in a note.
Well, I'm gonna add in the note.
Oh, Casey's adding in a note.
I can't add in the note for myself.
That's a good point. All right, go.
Wait, I need my character.
Oh yeah, right. Well, tell us first.
Okay, my plot is plots to escape a retirement home in Florida.
And your character is a shark with a human brain. Shark with a human brain plots to escape a retirement home in Florida. Can you do better than me?
Oh, I can do this.
Go.
Okay, so there's this shark. His name is Finn. And he lives in this giant fish tank in a retirement home in Florida. It's kind of like, you know, because they're in Florida and like they're near the, it's just like this cool thing to try to attract more old people to want to live in this retirement home. But Finn doesn't totally understand that he's a shark and not a human. And he thinks that he's one of these old people trapped in this retirement home, and he is plotting. He's got these ideas. He's like, all right, well maybe if I can get some of their forks, I can get myself out of this cage and I can get over the ocean.
Pause. We love it. But what if we actually split this into 3 movies? What would part 3 look like?
Continue.
And go.
All right, so in part 3, he is stuck in the storm drain, which if you'd seen part 2, you'd understand why that happened. But he's stuck in the storm drain And luckily, there's been a storm recently, so like there's a lot of water in it. He's not worried about, is it drowning when they can't breathe on at land?
A shark is drowning?
No, because like it's drowning when we're in water. I don't know what the term would be.
Suffocation.
Suffocating.
Okay, so he's not worried about suffocation unless he doesn't get out in time. Then he might have to worry about suffocation, but he is just trying to get out of the storm drain. He's like breaking down the bars, but you know, he's Finn.
That's the last statement. You know, he's Finn. First off, philosophical question I would like to ask: is a shark on land drowning?
Well, I was trying to ask what the word would be.
No, we all understood what you meant, though.
Right.
So I would like to add that to the list of philosophical questions.
We drown in water, but do they drown in air?
It's a good question.
All right, so tries to break the record for baking the world's largest pizza.
And who tries to break it? A grizzled veteran returning home tries to break the record for baking the world's largest pizza, and go.
All right, so since it was a veteran from, we're gonna say World War II, because I can put this at any time.
And pause. I would like to add in a note. We love the Avengers movie, so we want this to turn into a big crossover event with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And continue.
So, originally in World War II, he comes back and decides that he wants to try to feed all of the other veterans that are having a difficulty finding, food and sustenance, everything else. And he lives in New York, and he actually starts to try to get this spot made kind of in Central Park. They're gonna try to actually build a giant outdoor oven to make this giant pizza that's gonna be, the world's largest, because who's ever seen it at that point? And luckily, what ends up happening is when they start actually, they get the ingredients, they start, to actually put up torches to actually cook the pizza, because they want to do, it's army, so it's gonna be cool if there's torches everywhere. And the smell of the pizza actually goes into the sewer, which just so happened to get the attention of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And what happens in this is because, they so much like pizza, there's actually the anti-baking group tries to sabotage this giant world-making pizza contest, and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles end up saving the day to make this pizza happen.
Hang on. Anti-baking group? Is this your villain in this? There's an anti-baking group?
Yes.
I hate that I must have subliminally chose Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Because of
as soon as I read pizza after, I was like, I just set him up for success. What was I thinking?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
That's what I was confused with too. I was like, that was really good. Thank you.
Okay, well, let's try it this way. Do the three of us agree that someone won? I would be willing to go for Casey because his made... I hate to say it made sense.
Yes!
I think mine made total sense.
It made more sense than mine. And you did ask a great philosophical question. So, I will vote for whoever the other person wants to vote for. Unless you're both going to vote for yourself.
Well, here's the thing. Neither of us is going to vote for you.
Right.
And voting for ourselves is wrong. So I'm going to end up voting Casey. And Casey, I'm guessing, is going to end up voting me. So
Don't
you're
be so
actually...
Hang on. You think Casey's going to vote for you
Well, you
instead of
can't
herself?
vote for yourself. Voting for yourself is wrong.
Casey, who would you like to vote for?
I would actually watch my movie.
All right, Casey wins. There you go.
Vote in the comments who you think the story was going to win, or put it on the Discord.
Yeah, that's what really matters. Who do you think won?
Yeah.
Because they're wrong.
They all vote
You
for
had
me.
Teenage Mutant
Wouldn't
Ninja
that be a
Turtles
twist?
and pizza.
Okay, but your bad guy was an anti-baking corporation.
I will give her
Which-
that. What the heck was...
Hold on, if I had
Hang
more-
on, no. Because here's...
We're going to do two people are fighting each other the first time through, okay?
Okay.
All right. And then the winner of that will go on to face Casey, who has already won one. So I guess it's us will go first.
Okay.
All right. So Jamin's going first. And your character is confused ghosts that don't know they're dead.
Oh!
Searching for a stolen nuclear bomb. And go. So, once upon a time there was a scientist named Jimmy John. And Jimmy John was a food scientist. He made the greatest sandwiches. But while he was doing this, he messed around with a few too many toppings, like herbs and whatnot, and they mixed in such a strange way that it created a food atomic bomb.
And, all right, that's great. But what if the main character's best friend was a mysterious robotic butler? And go.
And so he looked to his robotic butler, because this is the future, and he was like, yo, robotic butler, I just made a food ingredient that creates an atomic bomb. I think it's filled with flavor, but I'm afraid it might blow me up. So if I die, I need you to find my life force.
Did he just become Southern?
And make sure that I finish this job. And so he takes a bite of his Jimmy John subs, accurately named by his name, and he does in fact blow up, and the robotic butler grabs his life force and puts it into another robotic butler, but the ghost doesn't know, Jimmy John doesn't know that he's dead. He's just now a robotic butler, which he can't even tell he's a robot, and he goes on searching for this nuclear bomb he's created. You set me up for failure. What was I supposed to do with? None of this made any sense. Where was I supposed to go with?
Okay, it's a suave art thief. Thief. Who will do whatever it takes to become a world famous chef.
I'd watch this movie and go.
All right, so painting the scene here, we have Ben. He is like world famous art thief, but no one knows who he is because he has one of those secret identities as an art thief. It's something super cool. But it's secret identity. I can't tell you what it is yet. Anyway, but Ben, in his normal life, when he's not being an art thief, really has some big aspirations. He wants to become a world famous chef, but the thing is, he's already world famous. He's just world famous for the wrong thing. So, he goes on Chopped, so that he can show off how awesome of chef
And
skills.
hold on, that's good. But can we kill off the main characters in a really surprising twist? It worked on Game of Thrones. And go.
So he goes on Chopped to show off his awesome chef skills so that everyone knows how awesome of a chef he is.
No, don't do it.
But someone is beating him. And he's like, man, I can't be world famous if someone is gonna beat me on the show. So he sneaks in some poison to the dish. But he accidentally put it in the wrong dish and he ate it. So now he's like dying in the background, but it's on a chef show. So technically he's still getting what he wants because when this airs, nobody's ever gonna forget about him. He's going to be world famous for being a chef, even if he's dead.
Screw it, she won. I don't care, man. That was great. I can't believe she brought all that together.
And time.
Good luck beating her. I'm scared now. First, the brilliant question is a shark out of water drowning, and now all three elements creating the world's best movie.
She won. Yeah, she totally won.
Okay. I'm not even gonna try. If you comment that I won, I don't even agree with you. All right. The final round: Casey versus Olivia. Who will win? Your character is a feral child raised by apes.
And he embarks on an epic journey to destroy an evil, magical artifact.
And go.
So, this child that was raised by apes sees a mysterious magical artifact, which is actually zoo cages. So, he was raised by wild apes that, in their culture, in their mind, sees zoo cages as the most evil thing possible. And so, what he's deciding to do is he actually travels on a many-stop journey to destroy any zoo cage that he comes across. And so he originally starts out in Africa because of, raised by apes. And so he actually tries to go to, the first stop is actually the Egyptian Zoo.
And pause. Add a love interest and have them die. And go.
And so when he actually travels to the zoo, he actually sees this zookeeper. That when he sees it, he's very confused by the feelings in which he feels. And he seems to want to take care of the zookeeper, even though the zookeeper is actually curating for the evil artifact that he's trying to destroy. And so what ends up happening is on the first stop on this epic long journey, he actually is able to destroy the first cage, but in doing so he gets caught by the zookeeper. And for him to escape, he must kill her.
Your turn.
Okay.
You are a pineapple with a heart of gold.
Must win enough money at the talent show to pay for their grandma's surgery.
Go.
All right, so this pineapple, we'll call them Jamie, is just this wonderful heart of gold, obviously, because they're willing to embarrass themselves in front of thousands of people just to raise enough money to cover their grandma's surgery. But this pineapple isn't the prettiest pineapple. It actually, Jamie was looked over in the grocery store. No one wanted to buy her because of the bruise along her right side. So she tries to figure out what her talent could be because she's just a little pineapple, but she needs this money. Her grandmother might die without this surgery.
And pause. Set it in space and add a bunch of laser swords. Continue.
So she finally comes up with this great idea. You see, she found a talent show that actually takes place in space. So she goes, trying to figure out what the crowd could be so that she could plan her talent around it. And she realizes that these people are just really into lasers. So if she could come up with a super cool laser show, potentially a laser sword, maybe she could just win this. So she gets some of those laser machines and she finds a sword and she kind of crafts them together into this awesome laser sword. And she gets out on that stage and she starts doing this warrior dance with the sword.
I don't know how it ended, but it was still more amusing. So I guess Olivia wins the game. Congratulations.
Yeah!
Yeah, I'd give her on that one.
With a pineapple that went to space to raise money for his grandma. I mean, how do you top that?
And also, how does a pineapple have a grandma?
How does it go to space? The suspense of belief had to be cut off somewhere along the way in order to enter into that.